you've been super generous with your time, and I very much appreciate it. We probably only got like halfway through the notes.
Okay,
Hopefully, maybe one day, if I'm lucky, we can do a part two because there's a lot I still want to talk about, especially
sure.
the modern era of the NWA. I just want
Yeah.
to throw out two more quick questions to you
Okay.
before we get to plugs again. One is you brought up Matt Borne, and like, there's a guy who he definitely has an interesting legacy because he was
Mhm.
great. And I'm actually a huge fan of his portrayal of Doink the Clown. I know some people aren't. I thought it was excellent. What was it like being with him and learning from him? And
Well, he was. If I'm sure that I'm not wrong on this one. He was the original.
yeah,
He told me stories about how that gimmick came about. He told me that he very much was he liked to rib people. That was part of the culture that of old school wrestling. Everything from putting a lock on your bag so you couldn't get to your gear without cutting it open to you name it, and those guys did it. But he told me how the progression of that happened and what the thought process was. And he kind of got that. I don't know him well enough to call him Vince, but that he and Vince McMahon talked about how that should happen and what that meant and what that character would be. And man, I learned so much from him. Um, he got on to me for sharing one of those things, so I won't share it. It's not bad. It's a concept that helped me with wrestling. But he talked about how, and I've passed this on to people who have done comedy gimmicks. The thing that to me that made him magical was he could be very hilarious clown pie in the face, and then like that, turn it on and become a psycho and turn on the intensity. That's what made him scary.
mm,
Um, I have a saying that I use quite a bit, and I've even used it with NWA early on. It's all of us have two sides. We have a good side, we have an evil side, and for me personally, it's how you treat me determines which side you're going to get. Um, Matt Borne had a good side, and I saw all of that. He had his demons. Most of us do,
mm.
but Matt was incredible to me, and I don't mean just in teaching. I mean as a person. He adopted me. He made me look like $1 million in matches. Um, one time he told me, "You're going to be my." He said, "You're tonight. You're my Kurt Hennig. I'm gonna bump for you tonight more than I've bumped in the last 3 years because I like you and I'm gonna do everything I can to make you successful." He'd get me booked on shows and get me twice the money that I would ever ask for, and then
Wow,
sit me next to him at the merch table. And because I'm sitting next to Doink the Clown or Matt Borne, I'm making twice as much money. And he didn't have to do any of that. Yeah, we all have our issues. Some public, like a lot of Matt's were, incredible human being.
that's so cool. Thank you for sharing that because he's a guy who another. A lot of people in wrestling are controversial, and you'll have people praising and then throwing hate. So it's nice to see a different side of that. So I appreciate that very much.